All right, we are looking at the AE Phase 1. This is a Tier 9 American heavy collector tank, and some would say it is the rarest tank in the game. It has never been sold in the store. It has never appeared in the auction, yet this tank is available to every player all the time, and I'm going to explain to you how you can get your hands on this particular tank. Now, I'm not going to show any gameplay. I've made a playlist that I'll link in this video where you can take a look at this tank in action. But before we talk about how we can actually get hold of it, let's just have a look at some of the stats and see whether or not it is worth your while trying to get hold of it. Let's have a look. So here are the stats, and you can see I've randomly selected some other tier 9 heavy tanks, and these are all tech tree tanks because if you are going to try and get the AE Phase 1, you will have to spend some money to do it. So we're trying to work out whether or not it's worth the financial investment. These tech tree tanks have got all of their modules fully upgraded, but you can see there are no equipment slots or consumables added to these tanks. And we have here the AE Phase 1 with a DPM of 2,304, which as you can see is a pretty mixed bag across the board. Nowhere near the 2,800 being offered by the Conqueror, but certainly better than some of the others. And the penetration numbers are also pretty similar across the board as well, as is the damage, although potentially the AE Phase 1 damage is a little bit on the low side. However, where it makes up for that is further down here in the aim time and the dispersion. Just move this up here, and you can see the aim time of 2.35 seconds is much better than most of the other tanks, and the dispersion is pretty good as well. But the one thing that the AE Phase 1 does have as a significant advantage over these tech tree heavy tanks is the gun depression. It has a very nice 10 degrees compared to 6s, 7s and 8s. Mobility wise, okay, it's got the speed. There's certainly some disadvantages in terms of terrain coefficients. And survivability wise, 2050 hit points. Well, again, it's a bit of a mixed bag. And as you can see, its camo rating is much better than its counterparts as well. So overall, it's not a standout, but there's also nothing wrong with it either. Let's just quickly take a look at the armor profile so we can see what that looks like. Okay, so let's take a look at the armor profile here. Let's bring up the color coding, and we will see that we have a 90mm front plate. Standard front plates always a risk, but here we've got 190mm, and either side of the gun 180mm of armor. 65 here on the top of the turret, but actually the hatch has 100mm of armor, which is pretty useful because that hatch is slightly exposed. But what does that look like in terms of angling the tank? Well, here you can see that this section here has a nominal 190mm of armor, but at this angle here goes up to 336. So you can see that as the tank is angled, here the side of the turret becomes exposed, but as you turn the turret back towards the enemy, that pretty strong turret either side of the gun is well protected, but the hatch, as you can see there, is a little bit exposed, so it's sometimes worth throwing the gun up to try and protect that. If you want to angle more, you've got to go quite a way here to protect that front plate, which does expose the sides of the tank. But again, if the turret comes round, the turret is quite well protected, and when you factor in the 10 degrees of gun depression that you get with this tank, it is pretty strong. So those are the stats for the AE Phase 1. Now you'll obviously notice that this tank has 4 tracks instead of 2 on either side, but it's worth noting that it does not come with the emergency track mechanic, where one track gets damaged, the tank is still able to reverse. Doesn't have that, which is a little bit unusual. That mechanic actually came in after this tank was introduced, but it would make sense that if any tank was going to be able to operate after one of its tracks has been damaged, then it might be this one. But nevertheless, that mechanic does not exist for this particular tank. So there we go. Let's take a look now at how you can actually get your hands on this tank. And this tank is hidden within the Game Pass, or Premium Pass, or whatever they call it. And effectively, as you work your way through the Game Pass here, the monthly operation, and you complete all of your missions to get yourself all the way to level 60, not only do you gain all of the prizes that are listed here, but you get to this particular container, and as long as you keep earning your missions and earning the little tokens here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, gets you one of these containers. And inside this container, as you can see, is the AE Phase 1. The M41A1 Rev is in there, along with the Chimera and the T26E3 Eagle 7. And there are various certificates towards other tanks as well. Let's just quickly take a look. In fact, there's certificates for the T26E3 Eagle as well as the tank itself, and the Rev also has certificates, along with a bunch of others and some backgrounds. But it's the AE Phase 1 which is the main prize here, and if we take a look, you can see that you have a 0.05% chance of landing the AE Phase 1. And if you're lucky enough to have the tank already and get it again, then you can claim 5,000 gold in compensation. Now, of course, in order to get this particular tank, you need to have purchased the Premium Pass in order to unlock this. And the Premium Pass is available in the store. Here you can have the Premium Pass for £5.99 for that monthly subscription. And if you want to add on 20 levels immediately, then you can pay £17.99 for the privilege of doing so. Great British pounds, of course. And then when you go into the Premium Pass area, down the bottom here, you do get enhanced prizes over and above the standard pass at the top, but you have to have the Premium Pass in order to access the container, so you will have to pay the $5.99 or $17.99 in order to do so. Work your way to level 60, earn 7 more levels, and this repeats as well, so if you are able to earn more than 7 and then earn another 7, you will get a chance at another container. And then once you do so, you have a 0.05% chance of landing the AE Phase 1. So there you have it. That is how you can get your hands on the AE Phase 1. Let me know in the comments if that's something you've been trying to do. And have you seen the AE Phase 1 in battle? There are not many of them about, and certainly when I take this out for a drive, it does normally attract a few comments. Thank you very much for watching.